Welcome to Clay Center Now. I'm Shannon Stark with Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce, and today I'm sitting down with Lynn and Scott Patterson. They are going to be the Grand Marshals for our 2019 Pietique Parade on Saturday, September 28th. And this was a fun experience. We went to the community and we asked for nominations for Grand Marshals, and you guys got some lovely nominations talking about investing in Clay Center, investing in this community, and one of my favorites was making sure that Clay Center stayed alive and growing. So that was fun to hear, and we're excited to have you today. So
Thank you, Shannon. Yeah. Appreciate that.
So we're just going to kind of start talking about your history with Clay Center and why the community sees you fit for this honor. So tell us a little bit about, you grew up here, right, Scott?
Yes, I grew up on a farm in northern part of Clay County and enjoyed farming a lot, and went to Bethany College, met Lynn, and then I thought I wanted to be a football coach and a math teacher, and that didn't work out so well. Went to Bethany for 1 year, went to K-State for 1 year, and then Lynn and I got married and graduated from KU.
Nice, rock chalk.
Yeah, rock chalk. Part of the problem was I've never been a good speller. And so when I went to K-State, I thought I was getting into farm classes, not pharmacy prerequisites. So I was really confused when I had my prerequisites. No, really, I knew what I was doing.
That's good to know.
He's still confused.
You're still confused.
Still confused. But yeah, then went to Saline and worked for a while. And Bob Weimer offered me a job up here, and talked to Lynn, and she said, yeah, Clay Center might not be such a bad place to come back to. She was from Oklahoma City, and you can tell your story, dear.
Well, I moved around quite a bit, and I consider Clay Center my hometown because I've lived here longer than any place else. So I kind of like the small townness, and I like knowing people and having people, say hi to you when you're on the street. And we raised our kids here, and it's just been great. We love Clay Center.
Good. So Bob Weimer Drug, correct? A lot of people will remember that. And you were a pharmacist there and became owner over a course of the years, partner and then owner, and very cool. And then you actually moved stores down a couple into the old JC
Right.
Penney.
We were actually next door where the insurance agency is. That's where that's where I started out, and they had taken out an old soda fountain out and remodeled the store, and things were a little different when I came up, and actually Bob Weimer's daughter is Robin Brown, and so we've known Robin and Phil for a long time, and I don't even know when we moved. J.C. Penney's decided that Clay Center was not big enough, and they left, and we took over that building, and that's the building we're in now, so right next door.
Yeah. And then you talked about it being an old soda fountain.
Yes, we had an old soda fountain, and when we first moved over to the J.C. Penney building, we decided to give away free pop, and and everybody came in at that time and said, geez, it'd be nice if you had a soda fountain. And so I don't remember exactly when we bought the building next door, which was Smith's Hardware, and we put a soda fountain in the front part of that, and a Lincoln Avenue Fountain and Grill at that time.
Very cool. And then, so that's side by side.
Side by side.
And over the course of time, so you had the Lincoln Avenue Fountain, and then rented it out to a couple other owners. Right. And just kind of recently, when was that? November 2018?
November.
Yes. I'm just thinking of my years here. November 2018. Opened a new and exciting thing for Clay Center that's gotten a lot of recognition, 1524 Brew House.
Yes.
So,
Clint Armstrong came, and we had a for rent sign, and he came and talked to us one evening. We'd had other people talk to us, but didn't think it was a very good fit. And Clint came and said he was a brewmaster. I
love that title, brewmaster.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
It's just a cool title.
Had a culinary arts degree, and so he had kind of the vision, and something I was interested in, and I think it's been fun. It's been a learning experience. I thought when I was in college, I brewed beer at home, and I thought I knew a little bit about it, but I knew nothing
You knew
about
nothing.
which is typical of how I get into most things.
But Clint he knows it all.
Yeah.
I mean, he is just kind of a genius when it
Yeah.
becomes, I mean, he talks about brewing beer and it's way over.
Oh, yeah,
my
and he
head.
has so many
Right.
different recipes and that. And my son-in-law, Ken Hughes, was interested, and he was brewing beer at home. And then we were lucky and found Austin Last, who was working at a microbrewery in Hayes, said he would come back. And
he's a local kid as
he's
well.
a local
He
kid
is.
also.
Yes.
So, things kind of work out.
Yeah.
And it's been good and fun. And I think we've all grown and learned.
Yeah.
We've taken some knocks, but overall had some really good times.
Yeah, very
And,
cool.
fun.
It's crazy how it just kind of all evolved, and
Yeah.
and here we are today, and keeping Clay Center alive and growing. I love
Yeah.
it. So you guys moved back in 1974. So you've
Right,
been
December
of 1974, and you've raised all your children here, and very,
Yeah.
very cool. Well, after this break, we will talk about another business venture that they took last year, and another way to keep Clay Center alive and growing.
Count on our team at Eagle for reliable internet, TV, and phone, because keeping you connected is what we do. Eagle Communications, our community connected. Count on our team at Eagle for business class phone, internet, and technology solutions, because keeping your business connected is what we do. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Welcome back to Clay Center Now. I'm Shannon Stark with Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm sitting down today with Lynn and Scott Patterson. Before the break, we got to talk a little bit about Patterson's Health Mart and how long you guys have been working in Clay Center and business owners. And then we talked about our new restaurant in town, 1524 Brew House, that you guys also own. But I think something really exciting that's happening in the community is where we sit today in the Rex Theater. So there's a lot of history here in Clay Center, and I think it's just kind of been a known location for our community. And so, Lynn, do you want to talk a little bit about the history and
Sure.
what you found out?
Actually, the Rex Theater opened as an open air theater before the 100 years that this building was here. And I'm guessing that probably wasn't too good for Kansas, open air.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it limited the time that you could use it. But so the Rex has been here in this location for about 100 years. And we were doing research. We went to nursing homes and talked to people that had worked here or remembered it as a child. And the Rex just has lots and lots of history. And just recently, we had a couple come through with their family, and their mother, I believe, or grandmother, who was now deceased, used to run the theater, and she brought pictures and actually framed for us. So we all the time are running into connections with people that knew about the Rex Theater, and it was a very vibrant theater when it was first built. I think they had the silent movies here to start with.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this family's mother was a child, and she danced between the silent movies on
Yeah.
the stage, as a little girl.
How
and that's why
neat.
they wanted to come back and take a look at where Mom performed.
Yeah.
And so,
Wow.
everybody that comes are just so happy that the Rex has been, it's like it was. And we were really lucky that when we got it, so much of it was intact, because you would never have been able to redo like all the plaster work and all the beautiful stuff that's in here.
Yeah. And there's a certain time period that it's from. Do you?
It's about 100 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But the style, is it? I know Renee's told me, and I can't remember.
Well, I'm thinking I was thinking maybe Art Deco, but I would hate to
Yeah,
swear to
that's
that.
what I
Okay.
would say.
Yeah. But there's a very specific style and colors, and you guys have stayed true to that with the renovation.
We tried, yes.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
very neat, very neat. So that's a little bit of the history on it, but it's been renovated now, and it's kind of a new beginning for the Rex Theater. So how did all that kind of come about and start?
Well, actually, a person that was here fundraising for the hospital, Bob Harvey, came to us and talked to us about the possibility of revamping the Rex and bringing it back. and getting it back opened. And he had a good plan. He had done a theater project before in Central City, Colorado, and so he had some knowledge, and he had the idea, and actually he spearheaded it probably the first 6 months of the renovation. He hired the people, and we were just helping with the finances and the yeses and nos. And then Bob decided this wasn't for him, and he thought originally he would live in Clay Center, and he had a place in Mexico, and they ended up going to Mexico and living, and so kind of dumped it on us. And I'm not very good at doing finishing projects very well, and anyway, it was very good. He had contracts in for the seats and for that. We had most of the interior structure put together. Lynn was instrumental in helping with getting the tile work. She is a lot more, I'm kind of a gloss it over type of person. She's much more wants it done in the period that was started. And so we worked pretty well as a team, you know, and long story short, yeah, the theater came out very, very nice. It looks like it did in the 20s or 30s, but the seats and the sound system and the projector is all up-to-date, current, and that. So
So, and it's different than a lot of theaters that you're in, you know, this time, because it has one screen, right?
Yeah.
So that, you know, sets you apart. But you're not only showing movies, you're hoping to do, I mean, you've had other shows here. I came to a puppet show here. And I know that the drama club has done some things here, and City Band has played here. What else have you
Well, they
hosted?
had a cooking show here.
Right, yes.
Yeah. And
we did a community theater here. Actually, you know, again, we have Clint and Ken and Austin at the brew house, and we have Renee at the theater.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
Renee Langbart.
Renee Langbart, and she is a very creative person. We were blessed to have her come on board and join us. And she does all the movies, and she also has all the ideas. Oh, we had a haunted house.
Yeah.
They had an escape room. There are many hidden
Martinis and mistletoe.
martinis and
fundraiser.
mistletoe, yeah. So, and that's part of the fun of seeing it being used and utilized more than just for the theater itself. And I think Renee has done really a good job of getting it for the community, and that's what it's here for.
Getting it utilized in many different ways. So very cool.
And you mentioned the city band. I tell you what, it was a packed house for the city band, and when
standing ovation.
when the barbershop
awesome.
quartet, which was directed by Ken Lang, a former Clay Center, and
Yes.
CL and they did the Battle Hymn of the Republic, made the hair on the back of your neck stand up, you know, really
Very
was
cool.
good.
Yeah, it's so great for Clay Center to have a venue like this for the arts, and to still have the movies for date nights and things.
Yeah.
And kids, and you guys are doing the kids movies as well, which I know Renee has kind of headed that. So that's a lot of fun to see all the. My
Kids,
office is my office is right there, so I'm like, oh, the Rex is showing a kids movie, because I can see all the littles downtown, which is a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, it is. It's fun to see people utilizing it, and it's good for the kids to come in. And you know, we've had a lot of people say about, oh, my first date when I was in school was at the Rex, or the first time I kissed a girl.
I think she has T-shirts.
Yes, Renee has T-shirts for sale that says
I was kissed in the Rex.
I was kissed in the Rex. Yes, very
exactly.
fun. Very fun. Well, right after this break, we will be talking a little bit more about Clay Center and Patterson's involvement in the community.
At Eagle Marketing Solutions, we believe your advertising should be as unique as your business. Because if it's important to you, it's important to us. Call Eagle today for your customized marketing plan.
Eagle Technology Solutions is the strategic advisor for your IT business needs. Because if it's important to you, it's important to us. Call today, Eagle Technology Solutions. Technology done right.
Welcome back to Clay Center Now. I'm Shannon Stark with Clay Center Area Chamber of Commerce, and I'm sitting down with the 2019 Piatique Parade Grand Marshals, Scott and Lynn Patterson. We've been talking a lot about all their businesses, Patterson Health Mart and 1524 Brew House, downtown Clay Center, and we're sitting in the beautiful Rex Theater that our community is so lucky to have. So talking about Piatique a little bit, we are actually going to have a beer garden running from 1:30 to 9 p.m. On Saturday, September 28th on Piatique after the parade in front of 1524 Brew House. So that should be a lot of fun. We're going to have a live band and music from 6 to 9 p.m. and we're having a cornhole tournament at 3 o'clock. So that'll be out in front of the Brew House on Lincoln Avenue. So that should be a good time. But before the beer garden and all that, we'll have the parade. And this year's theme is Disney. So do you guys have your costumes planned?
Yeah,
Not
I don't know if
really.
my ears are big enough,
your ears are big
we're
enough.
working on stretching them at night. But yeah.
Yeah, so Piatique should be a lot of fun. And something exciting that you have going on, a little project at the museum. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I was lucky when I bought the Abilene, my third store, I guess, the Abilene store. The owner there, I had purchased all the medicine and that, and he came to me one day and said, would you mind if I would put an old-fashioned pharmacy upstairs of my building? He had the building next door, and I said, no, that'd be great. And so he took a lot of things that were in the basement and in his basement, and we made a display. He made the display, I didn't, and he would let me bring people up there, but it was never open to the public or anything. And I talked to the Historical Society after he passed away and asked them if they would be interested in a pharmacy display of what pharmacy, some of the patent medicines that were available, some of the companies that are no longer around. And they came down, took a look at it, and Jeff is putting it together, and so upstairs in the museum there'll be an old-time pharmacy display that will be so people can come in and look, and older people like me, the Piatique, the old antique people, can see medicine that they haven't seen forever, like Lydia Pinkham's medicine and some of the over-the-counter things that are long gone because the government said that they weren't effective or whatever, and packaging, and so it'll be kind of fun.
Cool. Yeah, so you'll have to stop by the Clay County Museum in downtown Clay Center on the square for Piatique. I went up there the other day, and they even got some stuff out of the bowling alley, and so they have some neat stuff. I was saying my nephew's very into all the different telephones throughout the years. They've got from the iPhone all the way back to.
Yeah.
It's changed a lot.
It has changed a lot from what it looked like back in the old hospital up on by the hospital, and for what it is now. And Jeff's worked hard and made, I think, something for almost everyone.
Yes,
you know.
definitely.
And a good place, a nice place, a community room also that is nice for.
And we hope for no rain on Piatique.
That's for sure.
But if there is rain, you could go to the museum for something.
And stay dry.
Stay
That's
dry.
right.
Yeah. So Piatique is Saturday, September 28th. We have a full day planned. We've got the Mark A. Chapman Road Race, the 10K and 2 mile starting at 7:30 a.m. Then we have a Java Junkies T-Rex race, which will be very fun. We've got some local businesses, and they've gotten T-Rex costumes. They'll be running from 1524 to Java Junkies. So that should be pretty comical if you want to come out and get entertained. We've got the Children's Parade at 10 a.m. And again, the theme is Disney. So we're hoping people dress up for that and participate in that. And we will have a costume contest. And there's also going to be a drama here at the Rex Theater. I don't know if you know that, but Renee has scheduled a drama for the children right after the Children's Parade following that. Of course, the vendors on the square are open at 8 a.m. We've got a lot of food trucks coming in, and the Grand Parade with our Grand Marshals at 2 o'clock. And then the Cornhole Tournament starts at 3 o'clock, and we've got a live band and beer garden at 6 o'clock. And we're not closing until 9 p.m. right in front of 1524, so it should be
a full day of activity.
A full day. I can't even get it all in there.
Yeah.
I think Renee's planning some fun things with the theater as well, not just the drama,
Yeah.
but I think there's going to be some interactive activities, and there's a 3-on-3 basketball tournament. There's a lot to do. So check out Clay Center Chamber or email claycenterchamber@gmail.com, or check out our website, claycenterchamber.com, to get all those registration forms and check out all the activities. So, well, thank you, Scott and Lynn, for sitting down with me today and talking about Pietique and talking about all your investments in our community. I know that the community appreciates it. That's why you're getting honored.
It has been really fun, and the community's been really, really great to us and to the family, and that's been a great place to raise my kids and a good school system, and
Yeah.
a lot to be proud of.
Yes.
And I will say, Pietique has really come back. For a while there, it had gone downhill and there was hardly anything going on, but I think it's come back to even better than it used to be when we first came to town. You guys have done a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. We're excited. Getting some interactive things. And
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right.
It helps.
A lot of things for a lot of different people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sitting down today, and we're excited to have you, and we'll be looking for you at Pietique.
Okay.
We got to get those costumes ready.
That's right. Get my ears ready.
Thanks for joining us for Clay Center Now.